there's a number of different reasons. When a purchase order is for an item X is created, there's typically 3 ways, or when it's received, a standard process in the finance world is to make sure there's a 3-way match. That 3-way match consists of, let's make sure the quantity matches. So if a purchase order was created for 100 items, what happens when the supplier ships 110? We need to match 100 or 110, because if the PO only says 100 and the receiving doc looks at the PO and says received in full, and they take 100 because that's what the purchase order was, and they receive 100. But if there was really 110 there because the supplier overshipped them, and they take that pallet and as 110, all of a sudden the quantity, the actual inventory, doesn't match system accuracy. So one of those matches that the system has to be correct with, so the system and reality have to match in, is the quantity of items that are received. Now, critical with the quantity items is that you define what that quantity is, meaning what's the unit of measure? Did the supplier ship in pounds, or eaches, or boxes, or cases? So let's make sure that the unit of measure on the purchase order equals the unit of measure that the supplier shipped. So the quantity has to be accurate, right? The price has to be accurate. So for financial reasons, there's dollars associated with the inventory. And so the price on the purchase order said, we are buying this from the supplier at $1. What if the invoice says $1.05? Somehow, somewhere, somebody has to resolve what the price is on that item. So is it $1 or $1.05? So the invoice gets paid properly, and then that triggers the number of dollars that go into the balance sheet. That's part of the process, problems or challenges when inventories are not correct, that we can work out with you. The third thing, when I'm going to go back to that 3-way match, the third thing that has to be exact on the match is the item number. Oftentimes, there's a barcode associated with an item number, so you can shoot the barcode and that means something to everyone. But regardless, that barcode gets turned into an item number. Let's just pretend you're walking into the Home Depot. You can't just say, I received that, or I purchased, or I wanted to get a hammer. If you've ever been to a Home Depot, there are 10 different hammers at Home Depot, all of which have a different stock number, or SKU, 10037. Let's make sure that we didn't inaccurately key 10038 because the supplier was out of 10037s and shipped you a 10038 instead, because that's what they had in stock. So again, did the purchase order match what was actually shipped? And we need to make sure that we receive that actual item number. So again, let's go back to the accuracy of receiving. Item number, quantity, and price. Those 3 things have to be dead on for it to go accurately into inventory.